in the trenches. This is your weekly watch list, my weekly watch list. Let's get started. Alrighty, so today's Sunday the 17th. All right, and I'm gonna get right through this as quickly as I can. I am sleepy, so bear with me. Okay, so this week, Wednesday, August the 20th, we got some news coming out, 2 p.m. All right. Oh, basically from 11 to 2, we have FOMC members speaking. All right. We got Waller speaking, and then we have a meeting, FOMC. I'll go back. That's Wednesday. Thursday, we got unemployment numbers, PMI, manufacturing index. All right, flash services, PMI. If you click on the folders, it'll tell you a little bit more in depth about what's going on, show you the actual numbers before, what's projected, what's happening, the forecasts, all that good stuff. The one that I think is most important is going to be right here. 10 a.m. Friday the 22nd. Powell is speaking. So it's going to be a high volatility event, I'm sure. It's going to have the markets going crazy. August 17th. I believe that makes this the third week in August. 1, 2, 3. Third full week. OPEX, options expiration week, I believe. And if not, regardless, this is definitely going to add some volatility into the markets. All right, so I got a watch list here of some names that I'm interested in. Most of the setups are intraday setups. For some transparency, I've already looked at these names, kind of gone through to get an idea of what is going on. I just want to show you guys how I do this so that if you've been following along, it kind of just becomes a routine, all right? All right, so this is ALAB. This is a monthly chart. There's not too much data. As you can see, this chart just became public in March 2024. On the weekly, ALAB is extended over its 3 ATR. Typically, I like to avoid stocks like this. And on the daily, it's got a little bit of space. It's got about $5 between here and its 3 ATR. They are earnings winner. And being that it's a new stock, this thing has probably a lot higher to go. The setup I'm specifically looking at on this name is the 78-minute chart. We got some squeezes, red dots. Got a nice bullish pattern here, right? Bullish looking flag. This thing kind of goes up. That's a harbor drawing. Here we go. Something like this. All right. Bullish flag. Cool. Most of the charts have the setups on this time frame, but let's just go through them all. So this is ANET, ANET, you see? It's a beautiful chart, nice bullish pattern. Let's look at the monthly. It's got some space on the monthly, 137. That's where the price currently is, and the 3 ATR is at 149. So it's got some space there. On the weekly, it's right up there, hugging 3 ATR. And on the daily, we're pretty close here, right? About $5 away. Again, the specific chart I was looking at was the 78-minute chart, and it's got some space. It's got about $5, which is awesome. If you guys hear that music in the background, that's my wife. This is APLD. Let's see on the monthly, we've got some space. Plenty of space, right? The volume, VRVP, visible range volume profile, essentially drops off after $15. There's like nothing here. So this thing definitely has room to run up back towards $20. I am currently in this chart, in this name. I have a couple positions here in APLD. That's the monthly. This is the weekly. It's got some space, right? $3. And then daily, of course. For this one, I'm actually playing the 195-minute chart. It's got the nice little pattern here. Squeezes down at the bottom. And price is still in the buy zone. AVGO. So AVGO is an interesting one. It's been running here for, what is this? Since April. Stock is up 129% in 122 days. Essentially running up 1% each day. Super mega bullish. I've been looking at this stock for a couple weeks now. If you go back to my stock watch list, you'll see that it's been on the radar. Something interesting is that a couple weeks back, when price bounced off this August 1st, had this zone drawn up, and the price bounced perfectly off this zone and went on to hit TP1 up here at 313. And now a similar zone has presented itself down here between $298 and $300. And so I want to see if AVGO can essentially do the same thing. Just bounce off the zone and go up to hit its first target. If it does, its first target's up here at 322. So it's an excellent risk-reward ratio, I think. Right? Look at this. It stop out essentially under the zone. Let's call it 298. And then you run it up here. So risking $1 to make about $1.90. Not the greatest risk-reward ratio, but pretty good. That's AVGO. The actual setup I was looking at is on the 130-minute chart. This one is not as clean looking in terms of a bull flaggish pattern, but it does meet the requirements, right? The stock is trending higher. We got our squeezes and prices right at the buy zone here. CMG. So CMG is an interesting one. I zoomed out to find this. Here we're looking at a 3-month chart, which means each candle here is 3 months. Okay, so price has been bouncing off these trend lines. I ran a fib retracement from this low to this high, and this level here is the 618 retracement, 61.8. So price has bounced off the 61.8 retracement level. Price has bounced off the 21 EMA and off of this trend line. So a lot of confluence here. I'm going to zoom into the weekly chart. You see how price bounced here, then down, and up, then down, and up, and down. If we assume that the pattern is going to continue, then this thing should be making its way back up here towards $55 or so. I like this to go higher, considering the confluence, the trend line, the 618 retracement level, and the 21 EMA on the 3-month chart. So 1, 2, 3 levels here. For me, that's an awesome setup. The way I'm thinking about playing this, and we have this gap down. So the stock is trending higher. It's a bullish stock. And then we have this gap on the daily, right? Dropped off from 52 on earnings day. They missed their revenue by 1.5%. And so investors didn't like that or whatever. Let me see if I can't draw a line here. So this is the gap. Let's make this pink. And I'm going to write gap. 52.16. Okay, so assuming this thing runs back up to close the gap, we got at least an $8 move, 18% in the stock. I'm thinking about getting this, buying shares, just buying stock shares. If the price stays right around this area, when the bell opens, when the bell dings, the market opens up tomorrow, I'm going to buy some shares. I think this is the safest way to play this. CMG is pretty good stock. Chipotle, right? People love Chipotle. And the risk is defined. So I would stop out underneath this zone. Um, I'd probably call it 41. That gives it space below the 21, below the 618, and below the trend line. So I'd stop out under $41 and run this thing up as far as it goes, tightening my stop, trailing up my stop as we get closer to this gap and the top of this trend line. So it would look something like this. And then let's just call it where the gap is. So risking $1 to make $2.57. Really, really like the setup. Real technical. Got a lot of support. And I can see CMG running higher. Ideally, again, I'd stop out under 41. But this is also a good area, right? Price pulled back and then bounced and started making its way higher. So either stopping out under 41 or stopping out under 42. FTAI. Let's see what the monthly looks like. Beautiful. Got a lot of space. On the weekly, look, this thing is starting to round out here on the bottom. Plus, we got squeezes. Looks like FTAI is getting ready to make a real run. This is the weekly chart, so. All right, the daily, 195. So this one's got a setup here on the 195. However, price is really far extended above the buy zone. So I wouldn't necessarily wait for that chart for a setup. I'd probably play something like this. Setting an alert down here around 142. Maybe down here around 140. Only using this volume as a support zone. So assuming that the price can come down to this area. This is where I'd want to get an entry between 140 and 137. Ideally, it comes down, picks them up, and then ride it up higher. That's FTAI. IDXX. It's right up here, right at its 3 ATR on the monthly, 3 ATR on the weekly, and basically 3 ATR on the daily. I'm not super fond of this chart per se, but it does have a sweet looking little pattern here. All right, same thing. Price goes up, makes a cute little flag. Bing, all right, bullish flag. It's a bullish pattern. Looks like a flag. The setup is clean, and there's no real resistance here coming out to the left, right? Most of the buyers are positioned right here where the price is. We got some buyers up here, 677 and 682, or sellers. And once price essentially turns around, this thing's gonna rip. Let's see. Yeah. I say once price is over 669, it's almost guaranteed to really start picking up and start moving higher. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed, but I'm just saying. This is Meta. Meta is a beast, right? Look at this thing. Since February or January 2023, this thing has been a monster. Up 400% in 900 days. What chart was I looking at? I just got it set up on the 195. Ideally picking it up down here. 762, 765 range. Um, but that's if you play the 195, right? Here on the 78, you can start positioning in 783 to 778 or so. And then 65 prices right there in the buy zone. Yeah, I like that. Meta to continue higher and maybe set new all-time highs. Previous or the current all-time high is set right here at 796.25. So it's only like a $12 move to take that out. MP. MP is one I've been watching. MP has done his thing. Looks very healthy, very strong. Right? This thing is this is since May of this year. This thing is up 300%, 340% in 76 days. So MP has been on a tear. Ideally, this thing is beautiful. This is why I initially was eyeing MP in late July, and then this thing just ran up, set new all-time highs here, or 52-week highs, and now it's consolidating, getting ready to do the same thing. So ideally, I want to catch MP under $73 and above 70, ideally, right? Something like this for the buy zone. Get in MP and ride this thing higher. Taking out previous all-time highs, 82.50, and then ideally running up towards 85. All right, Microsoft. Microsoft looks good. It's got a daily setup. All right, set this new high at 555.45. That's beautiful. And then it's pulled back, come in here into the buy zone. We got buyers positioning here, 525 or so. They beat earnings, fib retracement, give us some nice levels up top. First level would be obviously taking out the previous all-time high and then shooting up here towards 565. RKT. So RKT, it's got a, here we go, start setting up here on the 65-minute chart. Same thing, right? Nice little bullish flag. I'm sure it's starting to become painfully obvious. I'm just trading the same patterns over and over again. All right, nice bull flag, beautiful. So we got the monthly, space, the weekly, a little bit of space, like $2, nothing crazy. And then the daily, of course, the price is down here. It's got about $1 space. Not too much. RKT. SOUN, Soundhound. So this is a name I traded in through here somewhere. So Soundhound just hit this resistance at this 50% retracement level. Next stop will be around 1790, 1950, 21. All right. Let's see. I believe. So I was looking at the 78-minute chart again. Most of these names again on this intraday 78-minute chart time frame. All right, nice little pattern, Price is right on top of my buy zone. Looks good. VITL, Vital Farms. So the monthly's got plenty of space, right? $10 or so. The weekly's a little bit tight. But there is a double bottom here. All right. If you're not familiar with chart patterns, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Here we go. So this bottom, oh, I missed it. That and that, right? Double bottom. And then what will trigger, or what will say, yes, this is in fact a double bottom, is when this middle is taken out. Okay. So the double bottom triggered once 45.72 was taken out. So that basically means that it's a higher probability that price is going to run higher. It's a very bullish pattern, and it just right stands right out at me. So I'm gonna just put here double bottom. This thing's in play. So we got this double bottom in play. Vital Farms. There we go. And we got a 1 hour chart set up. All right, so it's setting up. We got our squeezes. Price is looking to push higher. Maybe up here towards 53. All right, VSAT or VSAT. I have a habit of saying the tickers as like a name. The weekly's extended, daily's extended. So this name is quite extended. Price is essentially above the 3 ATR in the higher time frames, which could mean that a pullback might be happening soon. It could also just mean that it's a really strong stock and it's gonna keep on pushing higher. So we got a nice setup here starting on the 65-minute chart. Got our first fresh orange dot, the first one. All right. Ideally, this thing will take off right here, off these levels. And yeah, prices here at the 21. Got our squeeze. Upside target 29, 28 plus, 2050. This one is also interesting. Not quite a traditional setup like CMG, but this one is a company that is working with cryptocurrencies. So they're using FLR to essentially make money so they can transfer something on the XRP ledger. They can use their proceeds from FLR to buy XRP, or to make liquidity more liquid. I don't really remember quite exactly. I'm going to see if I can't leak the video that I watched either in the description of this video or in the comments or something like that. So anyways, this thing popped up. Chart's looking great, right? We got this nice little channel that it just broke out of. Right. Which is nice and bullish. Momentum is positive, right? Went from red to yellow. So it was red was no momentum, losing momentum, and now it's starting to gain some traction, and price is reflecting that, right? So that's literally all of them. One thing I wanted to go over, let's look at some options. So, starting with VSAT, VSAT. Again, this setup is just starting to form on the 65-minute chart. It looks better on the 1 hour chart if you wanted to go that route. So trading the 1 hour chart on VSAT, I was looking at these 919.27 calls for about 245. Most of the dates I was looking at for these go out into September, just so that there's enough time in case we need it. So that's VSAT. The next one is VITO. So VITO. 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 All right, so price looking good here. Options are pretty cheap, right? We got this VITO. We got these monthlies. Looking at the 50 calls, they're going for about $1.30 right now. All right, so it's a little bit out of the money, about $3 out the money. However, you get 33 days on those, and I think if VITL gets going, then next up, Sound, SOUN. So Sound's got these nice cheap $9, $12, $16 calls going for $1.20. Right, again, Sounds get this 1 hour setup. Right, price is trending higher. Got a nice consolidation. Then we get the squeeze setup. So Sound looks good. Probably a Sound play. APLD. So for APLD, these are the 9, 12, 15 call or 1450 calls. 9, 12, 1450 calls right here. About 115, 117. Super cheap, guys. Super cheap options to get involved with. And then we got ANET, ANET. There we go. ANET. Let's see what these options look like. These are a little bit more pricey, right? Going for about $5.95 or $6. And then ALAB, also pretty pricey. $12, $12.50. So I was just going through these positions here that I had marked off on my watch list. I got a lot of names here, a lot of setups. I definitely want to get involved in CMG off this confluence of support here. Gonna buy the shares again. There's like a 99% chance I'm gonna buy some shares tomorrow. Maybe buy like 10 shares, 20 shares, nothing crazy. And just use this area as my stop loss. If we got in here 44, stopped out under 41, it's only a 6% loss, so it's not, or 7% loss, not too huge. However, because it's the shares, right, and we can go for the gap fill or even a higher target. Essentially, we're risking 6% to make 19% here at this first target. And then if if we use the fib retracement tool, the next big target is going to be $76. So that's a 76% gain. So essentially, going for this target, you're risking 7% to make a 76% gain. So I really like CMG. I really want to get involved in MP. I like MP. I think because they're in like materials, minerals, mining type of thing, but I think with oil, I think they have a really good opportunity here to break out of this pattern and kind of push higher to make new highs. So I really like MP, I really like CMG, and yeah, I just want to wish y'all the best of luck. All right, guys, take care.